that you've seen the World Bank mention the digital asset XRP as a bridge asset. You can see here that interoperability bridging solution. Okay. Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be diving down the rabbit hole, going over some documentation, showing how Ripple, in some way, shape, or form, is always involved in the shaping of this new financial system that is being built behind the scenes. We're going to be talking about Ripple, Mojaloop, the World Bank, showing you guys documentation on how things are interconnected and how something is for a fact happening behind the scenes. In today's video breakdown, if you enjoy these types of videos, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the platform. It does help boost the algorithm and push these video breakdowns out to more individuals like yourselves who actually like this type of deep research. So we're going to start by going over a document from 2024 that is from the World Bank, and it's talking about interoperability between central bank digital currency systems and fast payment systems. So let's head over, let's share this document, let's go over some of the interesting highlights. And again, this type of video material that we are going to display to you guys today is for those researchers that like to look further into things and like the interconnected intricacies of this digital asset ecosystem that are being built out with large organizations behind the scenes, showing you guys devils in the details. So Technology and Innovation Lab, this is the document here. Interoperability between central bank digital currencies. This is our primary focus today, right? The utilization of the digital asset XRP between major institutions, all right? And you can see here, it is orchestrated by the World Bank. Here's their stamp, okay? Now, just reading some highlights on this. We're just going to scroll down. I have about 3 on this before we get into some other documentation. So it says, in the second scenario, the team investigated, this is the executive summary, the interoperability between users within the FPS and the retail CBDC users, including the transfer of funds among both types of users using the common services such as address resolution services. This experiment illustrated how CBDC systems could interoperate with retail payment systems through an interlinking bridge. So I highlighted that, all right, because it mentions an interlinking bridge. Keep that in mind as we head on, because this document, again, is from the World Bank. I'm going to share you guys another World Bank document from a couple of years ago where they gave the title of a bridge asset to the digital asset XRP. All right, so here it mentions and talks about CBDCs connecting through interlinking bridges. Then it says the interoperability between CBDC systems and other payment systems is essential. In order to avoid fragmentation in the national payment system, for the CBDC to be used any jurisdiction at all, it should have the rails to be exchanged within the existing payment instruments. Otherwise, it would have limited practical value. Interoperability allows the CBDC to enhance overall payment systems efficiency with the jurisdiction because the CBDC can provide instant settlement and extend access to excluded segments of the community or even to non-traditional payment services. CBDC interoperability allows a seamless flow of value for various forms of money in different types of accounts. Now, as we scroll down here, what you're going to notice is it talks about Mojaloop and it talks about an interoperability bridging solution. And here it mentions Mojaloop, which was designed for inclusive fast payment systems. Now I want to zoom in so you guys can see this fine print. Here's it talking about that scenario. You can see Mojaloop hub right here. You can see interoperability bridge here as well. And it mentions that Mojaloop was designed for inclusive fast payment systems. So we're going to pause right there. Keep in mind that it's talking about bridging solutions and that this document is from the World Bank. Okay, so we're going to head over here. I just want to show you guys how involved, and I've just pulled up a couple of fundamental pieces. We're not going to go over too much because I don't want to bore you guys to death and read. I mean, probably I could find hundreds of fundamentals on this topic showing you guys that Ripple in some way, shape, or form is interconnected with Mojaloop or Mojaloop, however you want to pronounce it. But I'm going to just show you all a couple, okay? Keeping in mind that Mojaloop was mentioned in this World Bank document. So here you can see, this is from the Mojaloop Foundation. This is directly from their website. This is back from 2020. The Mojaloop Foundation announced that India's leading digital payment platform, PhoneFe, An enterprise blockchain solution provider, Ripple, have joined as sponsor members. So this is all the way back from 2020, showing you guys how involved Ripple has been with Mojaloop. If we head over here, you can see it says Mojaloop Foundation launches the Mojaloop CBDC Center for Excellence in Singapore. Keep in mind, what is this document from the World Bank talking about? Interoperability between CBDCs. Mojaloop launched a CBD Center for Excellence in Singapore. And here you can see this is from 2020. It mentions from this gentleman here, this is the CBDC Center of Excellence Director, Nick Jury. We're also grateful to our partners, Ripple and Temasek, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably not, for their support. We encourage all interested organizations to get involved in our COE initiatives. Then down here at the bottom, it says, the Mojaloop Foundation's mission is to increase financial inclusion by empowering organizations creating interoperable payment systems to enable digital financial services for all. Sponsor-level members include COIL, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Google, MAS, Modusbox, and Ripple. Also the Rockefeller Foundation, so on and so forth. Moving on, I just want to show you guys again Ripple's involvement. Here is another one. This is from 2023. Again, I showed you 2020, 2022. Now this is 2023. Then I'm going to show you 2024 so that people aren't like, oh, they stopped being a partner back in you know, because everybody always wants to make some type of argumental case as to how Ripple's not involved. And I'm showing you guys year after year after year. So here, okay, keeping in mind what the document said, this is, again, directly from Mojaloop Foundation. Mojaloop was designed by a team of leading tech and fintech companies. And you can see right here, Ripple is one of them. Okay. Yet again, showing you guys updated information. And now this was from June 8th or 18th, excuse me, 2024. This is directly from the Ripple website, 2023 impact report. Okay. And if we scroll right down here, it says, Ripple continued to fund and collaborate with NGOs like Mojaloop Foundation and the Lab for Inclusive FinTech at the University of California, right? So I'm just here attempting to show you guys devils in the details. Now, this was a Q&A with Mojaloop Foundation Director Ken Weber and Head of Social Impact at Ripple. And look down here at the bottom what they say. Financial inclusion is achievable through a combination of innovative technology, market-based solutions, and multi-sector partnerships. A thriving ecosystem of developers working to expand to financial services and market-based incentives to spur them on is also a necessary ingredient. The Mojaloop Foundation, along with Ripple, is committed to working with stakeholders in places where we can make the greatest impact. We look forward to participating in the Mojaloop Foundation's efforts to engage and involve local developers and entrepreneurs, and to collaborate with central banks. I repeat, and to collaborate with central banks, right? That's phenomenal because, again, if we come back over to this document here, just to reiterate, remember it said Mojaloop, which is designed for inclusive fast payment systems, and you saw how involved Ripple is with Mojaloop, right? Interoperability bridge. If we head over here and we come up to the top of this document, this is a document from the World Bank Group. You can see it right there. World Bank Group, Finance, Competitiveness, and Innovative Insights. The decline in access to correspondent banking services in emerging markets. If we scroll right down here to where it mentions XRP, the third group of fintech approaches to the de-risking issue consists of attempts to redefine the existing correspondent banking architecture, often by using cryptocurrencies as a bridge asset. In this framework, financial institutions maintain liquidity only in local currency, the bridge asset, with cross-border settlement occurring in that bridge asset. A number of different bridge assets have been proposed, from Bitcoin and Ether to product-specific cryptocurrencies such as XRP, right? Again, this document is from the World Bank. The viability of using cryptocurrencies to facilitate cross-border transfer will depend on the availability to convert cryptocurrencies and local currencies at will. Then if we come over here, here's another documentation. This is from Ripple, and it says, a country's CBDC, keep in mind what the first document said that we read from the World Bank, okay, before we read this document from Ripple, and now that you've seen the World Bank mention the digital asset XRP as a bridge asset, you can see here that interoperability bridging solution. If we come back up here to the top of this, remember this document said the same exact thing, that in order for CBDCs to exist, they need an interoperable solution. They mentioned interlinking bridge, an interlinking bridge solution, okay? So with that in the back of your mind, look at what this says. A country's CBDC cannot exist in isolation. They must play nice with other CBDCs and other digital assets. Using the XRP ledger, finalists Spend the Bits, Centipede, Mint Engine, and forex unlocked near instant settlement payments, drag and drop integrations, streamlined developer tools, and currency swaps without counterparty risk. Honorable mention Intel Central bridged private and public ledgers using XRP. Right? So take all of this information into consideration. I'm just here in an attempt to show you guys that they have used the digital asset XRP for and to solve this interlinking bridge problem that we now know these CBDCs need to seamlessly exist in this new financial ecosystem that, again, they are building out 110% behind the scenes. So with that being said, I'm not here to drive hype and hopium to anybody. Obviously, of course, we need financial institutions to onboard into this space. We need them to adopt these digital assets, and eventually, it is my firm belief that they will. Once regulations are in place, once the ecosystem has matured, how long could it take? It could take years. Again, I'm not here to debate that. I'm here to show you all that this is all happening for a fact behind the scenes. The devil's in the details. The research is there for anybody to do, that this is all happening and ongoing, whether it's experiments, it's proof of concepts, it's tests behind the scenes. It is my personal opinion that you do not want to be late to this party when they flip the switch and all of this stuff goes live. When they're done testing, when they're done proof of concepts, and when the regulations are firmly implemented and institutions are comfortable utilizing these digital assets and holding them on their balance sheet, wow, I couldn't imagine being late to this party. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. All right. With that being said, always do your own personal research. Never marry a bias. Diversify your portfolio. Stomach the volatility in the short term, because could we experience more turmoil in these markets? Absolutely. But have a long-term perspective. Understand that this is not a get-rich-quick schematic. This is the greatest wealth transfer that anybody that you know that is alive today will ever experience in their lifetime. And you get to be at the forefront of this. This is a golden opportunity to not mess things up. So many people will, and that is unfortunate. Don't be one of them. Do your research, buckle down, understand what opportunity is available to you in the now. And with that being said, many blessings to you guys, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.